Hi, my friends. So I'm out of school today for a holiday, but while you are having class with Marguerite, I want you to try to learn how to use some software and also some kind of digital instruments that we will be getting some use out of this year. What I want you to learn how to use is an online digital audio workstation called Soundtrap. Many of us worked on it a bunch last year, but some of us may not have, and some of us may have been on it a lot, some of us may have not been on it much at all. So I wanted to remind you how to log on, and certainly those of you who are more familiar with it, if this is easy for you and you know how to do this easily, what I expect is that you'll be a help to your classmates who might not be as familiar as you are. So what I want to basically teach you how to do today is how to log into Soundtrap and how to connect this to your Chromebook and to start to play with the synthesizer that is in Soundtrap. Now, depending on how long it takes how I know Marguerite's got some great stuff for you to do. So you might just have time to watch this video. You might have time to watch this video and then start using Soundtrap. So I'll just go through it, and here we go. First, I'm going to go through this as a tutorial with just basically with this PowerPoint so that you can get an idea of what to do. And then we'll actually put it to good use. So you're going to go to soundtrap.com. You're going to click the login button. You're going to enter your Soundtrap username and password. And Marguerite has a list of all the usernames and passwords from last year. If you're using the same Chromebook as last year, it might and probably should and will just log right into Soundtrap. If you weren't at Hilltown last year, I've provided some handy-dandy these are old accounts from 8th graders from last year that are going to get erased in the next couple weeks. And these are the names of 5 different accounts that you can 100% use. Those are the names that you can use to log in, and then you can use the passwords as the password. These accounts are going to be deleted in the next couple weeks to make room for the new accounts, which you will use. So if you end up making something in here that you like or that you want to work on and that you want to save, just make sure to tell me because I can help you with that. Once you get into Soundtrap, you're going to press this button that says Enter Studio, and that's going to bring you into the actual digital audio workspace. And it's going to have this little face when it's loading. It's going to say wait for the page to load. I always think that looks like Homer Simpson's mouth, if you know who Homer Simpson is. Anyway, once you get in there, you're going to click this button that says music so that you can start making music. You can also make a podcast, but that's a different kind of a project. We'll save that for another time. And when you get in there, it's going to give you different options, whether you want to browse loops, if you want to use the patterns beat maker, if you want to play the synthesizer, you want to add a new track, import a file, blah, blah, blah. We can talk at some point about what all that stuff means. For today, what I want to talk about is connecting this Midi controller, to the Chromebook so that you can play the synth. And basically, you will have a cable. One end looks like this, and the other end looks like a regular USB cable. You're going to take this end and plug it into the actual MIDI controller. You're going to take this end, and now it's going to go off camera because I'm actually plugging it into my computer. You're going to plug it into your Chromebook. And sometimes different computers and MIDI controllers will have different issues with communication. Sometimes they work very well, sometimes not so well. So depending on, that's one of the pieces of information that I actually am going to want from you. Did your things sync right up, or did some of them work and not others, or did all of them work, did all of them not work? We'll find out. They should work though. Last year we tested them out and they worked. So you'll press play the synth, and then once you get in there, you can explore playing the synthesizer with your MIDI controller. And you can see there's going to be different sounds, you can mess with different effects, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, now that I've kind of showed you in a presentation how to do it, let's actually put this into use. And hold on. Okay, and we are going to use this big cursor so that, and sometimes it's a little clumsy. So you go to this website, soundtrap.com, and it'll take you, actually, it says /edu. When you get there, you're going to press log in, and it'll say, welcome back to Soundtrap. Don't just press log in with Google. This is where I want you to put in your actual username and password. So I put in my username, which is my Hilltown charter school address. Yours is different because we made specific addresses for Soundtrap only for last year, and Marguerite has a list of those. So you can come up and get your password if it's not logging in automatically. I'll put in my password, pink fluffy bunnies. Okay. I press log in, and it's going to log in, and it's going to take me to the Soundtrap homepage. It's got all my projects here, all this good stuff from last year. I'm sure I could play some of this stuff and embarrass you all greatly, but you know, whatever. Then once I get here, I'm going to press this thing, and this is what I want you to do today. I want you to press this button that says Enter Studio, which is going to open up the digital audio workstation. Again, you're going to get your your kind of loading image. Then it's going to take you to the website, and it's going to say New Project, Music, or Podcast. We're going to press Music. And then when we get there, as I said, we can browse loops, do patterns beatmaker, play the synth, add a new track, import a file, or invite a friend. What I want you to try for today is to play the synth. Though honestly, if after watching part of this video you have very little time, just having signed in is wonderful. And if you don't have time to deal with another piece of hardware like the Midi controller, you might just want to start browsing loops or check out the patterns beatmaker or something like that. Alright, but if you do have time to play the synth, press play the synth, and then I basically want you to make sure that your Midi controller is connected properly, and if it is, it should work when I play it. Look at that. Alright, so you can start messing around with the synth. Certainly having headphones is going to be a good idea here, so that you're not all playing at the same time and driving each other crazy. And you can try different sounds. You can try putting some different rhythms on it. This is something that we're going to be using mainly to learn music theory and piano this year, and also to do some composing. But let's see if I can just find, if I go under keyboards, I'm just going to go under pianos, and I'm going to find something. I always like the sound of this kind of a synthesizer called a Rhodes. Let me check that out. Alright. Anyway, that's what I want you to do for today, and then we will actually get into the making of music and the recording of music as we move further along in the semester. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm sorry to miss you today, but I hope you also have a very happy new year, and I will see you in a week.